Today we're diving into a comprehensive comparison between the Samsung Galaxy A16 5G and its predecessor Galaxy A15 5G. Both of them are mid-range smartphones designed to deliver reliable performance without breaking the bank. Samsung promises an upgraded experience with the Galaxy A16 5G, offering a larger 6.7-inch display, refined build quality, and enhanced video capabilities, addressing issues like usability for media consumption and multitasking. On the other hand, the Galaxy A15 5G emphasizes balanced performance and efficient battery life with its 6nm MediaTek Dimensity 6100 Plus processor. But how do they stack up against each other? Well, let's dive into a detailed comparison of these two smartphones and see which one is best for your needs and style. And if you find this video helpful, please help out the channel by giving it a like and subscribing. Let's kick things off with the design. The Galaxy A16 looks familiar but brings a couple of noticeable changes. It's slightly bigger and slimmer than the A15, and the 3.5mm headphone jack also gone. Both phones still have that plasticky build, with a plastic back and frame, but the silver lining is plastic won't shatter like glass. If you're someone who prefers to go caseless, this might actually be a win. The button placement is identical, with the power button doubling as a reliable, but the fingerprint scanner is slightly slow. Personally, I think the A16's slimmer profile gives it a slight edge in the design department, but losing the headphone jack might be a deal breaker for some, especially if you're holding onto wired headphones. Moving on to the display, the A16 comes with a larger 6.7-inch screen, a bump up from the A15's 6.5 inches display. Both displays are LCD panels with decent colors, respectable 90Hz refresh rates, and a brightness level that maxes out at around 740 nits. It's not flagship quality, but for budget phones, they're quite solid. Despite the A16's bigger screen, Samsung has managed to keep the bezels slightly thinner, giving it a more modern look. And here's something worth noting. Some pricier phones still use LCD panels that don't look as good as these. Between the two smartphones, the A16's display feels like the winner here, thanks to that slightly larger size and improved bezel design. It's a small but noticeable improvement. When it comes to performance, the Galaxy A16 steps up with an Exynos 1330 chipset with a 5nm processor, which is an upgrade over the A15's MediaTek Dimensity 6100 Plus. But both phones are still paired with just 4GB of RAM, and that's where the limitations really show. Everyday tasks are okay, but anything heavy like gaming or multitasking makes them struggle. On benchmark tests, the A16 scores better, and you do feel the difference in casual use, but it's far from snappy. If you're into casual gaming or basic phone use, the A16 is marginally better, but if raw power is a priority, neither phone is ideal. So in terms of performance, the A16's improved chipset gives it the upper hand, albeit by a small margin. Now let's talk about the cameras. Both phones have 3 rear cameras, but realistically, it's all about that 50 megapixels main sensor. The other 2 is a 5 megapixels ultra-wide lens and a 2 megapixels macro lens, which don't add much value to the phone. But the A16 makes a noticeable leap in video quality, particularly with its main camera. But the photos are a different story. The A15 delivers warmer and more natural colors, while the A16 opts for colder tones that might not appeal to everyone. The selfie camera on both phones shares similar hardware, but again, the A15's warmer tones feel more appealing to me, while the A16 wins in video quality and functionality, like switching between cameras during recording. The A15 feels more consistent for photos. I'd call this one a tie, depending on whether you prioritize photos or videos. Moving on to the battery life. Both phones have 5,000 mAh batteries, but the A15 actually outlasts the A16 in real-world use. Across various tests, the A15 gave about an hour more screen time, averaging close to 6 hours and 43 minutes. That's not to say the A16 is bad, but it's just not better. Charging speeds are nearly identical, with both taking about an hour and a half to go from empty to full using a 25 watts charger. So if battery life is crucial, the A15 holds a slight advantage here, and it's something to consider if you're on the go a lot. As for my final verdict, the Galaxy A16 5G is definitely an upgrade, But it's not without its compromises. The design and display improvements, slightly better performance, and upgraded video capabilities make it a solid choice for anyone looking to get the latest on a budget. But if you're holding on to an A15 5G, you might not feel the need to rush out and upgrade, especially since battery life and photo quality take a slight step back. For first-time buyers, the A16 5G is the better overall package. It's just not a dramatic leap forward.